Are written contracts always required? Business owners have a goal of making sure that their contracts are enforceable. But the problem is, what if they're oral? What if they're not in writing? Or what if it's a thumbs up, like, hey, I'll paint your house for $500, and the homeowner says, is that gesture enough? Because it's not in writing. It's not even orally spoken. So the problem is, how do you know when a contract is enforceable? Well, the good news is the law is very clear on this. If a person extended an offer and the other person indicated an acceptance of that offer, then there's a contract. It doesn't matter if it's in writing. It doesn't matter if it's spoken or not. A thumbs up is enough. In fact, if Sally said to me, hey Aaron, if you want to come paint my house on Friday, I'll pay you $500. And I look at Sally and I give no response and I walk away. But on Friday I show up and I paint her house. I have accepted her offer by my performance. So as a result, there is a contract. So the law does not require a contract to be in writing to be enforceable. It can be oral, it can be a gesture, it can be a nod, it can be some sort of performance like performing on the request in the offer. Now, there are some exceptions to this. Here are some of the big ones. Certain sorts of contracts have to be in writing under what's called the statute of frauds. For example, a contract that takes more than a year to perform, or a transaction in real estate, and a number of others that you can see by looking at the statute of frauds. And we'll put a link in the description below for an article on the statute of frauds so you can see which sort of contracts must be in writing. What are some other exceptions? Well, an offer needs to be sufficiently detailed for it to be accepted. For example, if you leave out the dollar amount, usually that means that there wasn't sufficient detail in the offer. For example, if Sally said, hey Aaron, I'll pay you if you come to my house and paint it on Friday. Well, if I come and paint the house on Friday, there's a question. What amount did she agree to pay me? Now, can she get off without paying at all? No. There are other legal doctrines that apply in that situation. So these are doctrines in equity. It would be potentially promissory estoppel. Quantum Meruit is probably the most likely legal doctrine that would apply, because even though there's not a contract that's enforceable, under the equitable doctrine of quantum meruit, that's a Latin term, she'd still have to pay. Quantum meruit, quantum means quantity or the volume or quality, but generally quantity, that's what quantum means. And meruit means the value or the merit of what's provided. So whatever the value of the paint job is that I provided, that would still need to be paid. But there are scenarios where even if the price is missing, the contract would still be enforceable. So not under quantum meruit, but it would be an enforceable contract. Here's an example. Let's say pork bellies. The price of them is listed on a public exchange or index. So everybody knows what pork bellies are every day. And we're talking about the bellies of pigs. But I'm using this example because it's real. Pork bellies are traded on a daily basis, and there's some standard pricing around that. So if I said, hey, if you deliver 1,000 pork bellies to me on Friday, I will pay you. And the person delivers 1,000 pork bellies. Well, the price is known because it's a publicly listed price. So it wasn't important in that scenario for the price to be communicated in the offer because it was essentially known or implied through the offer. So you have to have sufficient detail for an offer to be accepted by another party. There are some other exceptions where an offer would be accepted, but the contract would not be enforceable. There might be some other issues there. They're more minor examples. I'll give you one example. If somebody said to me, I will pay you $1,000 to kill my ex-spouse. And I said, I accept. Is that contract enforceable? No, because it's illegal. And any contract to do something that is illegal is not enforceable. So there are some extreme exceptions there. But going back to the general question, are written contracts always required? No. Contracts can be oral. They can be communicated in many different ways, emails, etc. There is no requirement that a contract be in writing unless it's the type of contract listed in the statute of frauds. If you haven't already, subscribe at aaronhall.com/free. You are welcome to check out our channel where we have all sorts of other questions from business owners and the answers provided to you. I do these videos as a public service, as a way to use my knowledge as a licensed attorney to help business owners avoid problems, spot issues to discuss with their attorneys, and improve the likelihood that you will have a successful company and successful life.